Yep, Uncle AK here, back at it again. Another Palm Wine Central podcast episode. I am here with my co-host Hannah. How you doing? Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. I'm good. I'm good. It was a good week so far. Good Tuesday so far. Can't complain. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I cannot complain. Even if I complain, who's going to listen? So I might as well just shut up and carry on with life. So yeah,
I mean,
I'm
we would
good.
listen. We would listen.
Like passive listening. You go like a swing and go to the other ear. And it'll just be like you're doing that. It'll just be noise. So I might as well just count my eggs before they hatch and just smile and say it's a great day. Eh? Yeah, it's a great day, Charlie. But anyways, shout out to Toot. She can't make it today, so yeah, we'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah.
But we have a fun show. We have a fun episode planned for you guys, and we'll start. Yeah, this past Sunday there was a UFC or UFC, whatever you want to call it, right? Show in the White House lawn. They had been building that thing. Most of you might have seen it. Put a picture up for you. While, well, first of all, there was a lot going on there. A lot going on. Some guy came and I forget who the guy is, and he was against like Israel and everything, and they had to walk him out. Like a ton of Secret Service and all these
I
guys.
didn't see that part.
I'll have to send you. Came on the stage and they walked him out. The crazy part is, if it was a black person who did that, they would not walk that person off that stage. That's just my own take to it. We'll talk about there. The guy who came on stage and said, Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right? Like, how did you
What,
like what was that?
first of all, I'm like, what is their obsession with calling Michelle Obama a man?
Yeah,
Like, I don't understand
I
it,
don't
first
understand the
of all.
obsession.
Like, I mean, I do understand it as racism, right? But like also like one, her children look just like her. Two, she was born in the 60s. Like I don't know. I just cannot see a black mother at that time raising her son as a girl. Like I don't know. It was a different era. I understand. People weren't as accepting of the LGBTQ movement as they are now. That stuff wasn't happening back then. So I just feel like it comes from racism. I don't know what their obsession is. Why is it the first thing you're thinking of after whatever fight, first thing that came to your mind, or one of the first things, right?
Hmm.
And that's so contradictory because you're like, I love Jesus, right? Which means that like you should be a good person and say good things, come out with like hate. I don't know. It was just
Crazy.
disappointing and like no one said anything. They just kind of like kept it moving. They're oh, okay. Like I don't know. It's just you felt comfortable enough to say that at the White House and nothing happened. Walked away. Okay.
Yeah. What
Crazy.
is really the obsession with it?
I mean, they haven't, when was office? When did he leave? How long has
Let's
he been
let's
out?
how let's Google this real quick.
Yeah. How long has this man been out that they keep saying his name and his wife's name?
Since January 2027.
We are about to go into 20
9 years ago, in almost 5 months.
crazy. It's about to be a decade still saying this man's name. That's why it's racism, because y'all could not handle having a black.
Crazy. I think what's his name? The guy who owns UFC. I think it's Dana something. Like he didn't do anything about it.
Mm-mm. Oh, it was Joe Rogan up there too. Like he was the
Yeah,
announcer, right?
forget about Joe Rogan, man. I'm talking
Okay.
about the guy who owns UFC. Like the guy who
Yeah.
owns UFC. He didn't even say anything about it. You know,
Didn't, like I
in
said,
a
put out,
statement, nothing.
you know,
Yep. You
like
know,
not
like I
always.
was, like I was just googling. It said the obsession mostly comes from a mixture of misogyny.
Yes, she's taller. She's more curvaceous or she has more muscle mass than like she's a woman.
See, don't nobody cares what she's built like, look like. Don't know. Okay.
She's a woman.
What we care about is a woman. Why do you guys feel the need up into something that has
Has
nothing to do?
nothing to do with her. This
She's
event
not
has
even
nothing to do.
nothing. It's been what 9 years and almost 5 months, and you calling their names like, bro, like
Over, like, come up with something new. Come up with a new argument, something fresh, something, a new ever. But like, it's tired.
any president, be it Democratic or Republican, not want their wives, Michelle Obama. Correct me. Somebody please correct me, but I've of one. So what is your obsession with this woman for? Like, what really is it?
But they'll sit behind Melania.
Oh,
You didn't know
I didn't. That's. I mean,
this?
now that you said it clicks in my head. Ding, ding, ding. Like,
Yeah, she was a literal porn star. She was on like different magazines. She was like an escort.
Let's see what it comes up with.
She had a
nude photo shoot. Okay.
She was a Playboy model.
Playboy model. Yeah. I mean, if you're I've always thought about this thing. If you are a model,
you're a porn star.
Does that mean you get to guy?
With Hugh Hefner?
Yeah.
Sex?
I mean, what are you there for?
He like pressure the women to have sex with him?
I mean, I'm not saying he pressures them, but I mean, I'm saying like, if you go, are you going there for?
The status. Okay, I can't speak for me. Like, just how these OnlyFans models get, it's like the status of knowing like I'm a this type of model. I'm like the top in this category. You know, people are looking at me, people know me, people are not like to say idolizing me, but like sexually. I don't know. I don't know. But it's like a status thing for sure. You know. Plus, the more popular they are, the more. Did you freeze?
No, I did not. I'm just reading. It says no. Not all the women there were dating Hugh Hefner. Some were live-in girlfriends or business in residence. But the mansion also hosted models, guests, celebrities, staff, and you just got to get over that lady, man. Y'all got to let her be.
Let them both be. Let the family rest, man. Get their names out of your mouth.
They gave you guys public service.
This is how you know.
This is one like there's what's his name? The guy that just left not too long ago. Biden. That guy. You're not talking about him. What did he do?
They do.
Huh?
I said I feel like they do. Well, they talk about Obama more.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're not talking about him, but and his wife in the same sense. Like, why y'all talking about? Anyways.
Yeah. What's Biden's wife? Is it Jill?
Yeah, that's her.
Never anybody's conversation.
You know, one thing I forgot to mention, an update. We forgot to give an update on last week's episode when we're talking about.
So he is going through PT. Shout out to the PTs out there. Yeah, guys going through PT, and he kind of gives a little bit more information on the process. Like he was talking about how he tried to file a claim without really involving his grandma's insurance, but found out that there was like no other way to go about it. So ultimately he had to file the claim through insurance and everything. But he said that his cousin like called the insurance company, called them or wrote them and begged them to deny the claim. This cousin is working overtime. That's now you're actually being petty. Like that on the cousin's part. But anyway, so the cousin called the insurance company and begged them to deny the claim. They did not do that. The insurance approved it. So yeah, the guy is making a good recovery. He's walking again. He's getting these bills paid. I think his bill was like 38K or so. It was like I was like, dang. It's not the grandma who's really affected. It's her insurance company. So, and that's why we have insurance. So, yeah. What do you think?
After, when I thought about, yeah, I might do the same thing. Depending, with that injury that he got, I'm definitely doing that. 38K. because grandma fell on me. Grandma lived her life. I'm still coming up. What do you mean? Now I'm supposed to be
Hello.
suffering this whole thing and paying, have a whole hospital debt for myself?
It's
Nah.
hospital bills, it's the PT bills, it's all the medications he has to take.
Mm-hmm.
He has like pain pill, just a lot of stuff is going on, and like stuff is not cheap in America. So
No, it's not.
yeah, at the end of the day, I understood him. You know, like you said, AK, I feel like I went home, I thought about the episode or thing, and I was like, nah, I feel like at some point also sue.
Yeah. If
Sue
one
the
Africa,
insurance, not you, mama, but the insurance. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, 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 yeah. I
Sorry.
mean, if it's just on your premium, what's the big deal?
It's probably not two, but
I mean, I'm talking about extra, like on a monthly basis, on a monthly
yeah.
basis, because it'll be spread, across. But yeah, just wanted to give an update on that. Hopefully, nobody looked at us like we're savages. Or no, hopefully, nobody looked at us as savages because grandma, again, it's not you, it's the insurance company they are suing. Yes, yes. But Juneteenth is coming up on the 19th of this month. Do you have off?
I don't.
Yeah, me. Fine. And well, shout out to T. She sent me this. She was like, man, you about it. Okay. I'll read this here and then you can read the second one. So it says, as a Black American, I have never once been invited to a independence party, a Ghanaian independence party, or any diaspora independence. All of a sudden, y'all, and I know she's saying y'all, she's meaning we supposed Juneteenth cookout with Africa.
So then she says, it's a lot of Black Americans who share my sentiment and a lot of diasporians who being strategically obtuse. And that is why we won't ever have the unity y'all crying about. And for y'all saying I'm divisive, that's your internal xenophobic demon crying.
What do you think?
It, in some ways, I feel I understand, right? Like for a lot of Black Americans, that Africans, you guys don't always seem welcoming. There I've heard like from other people, like
Wow,
before.
wow, 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 wow. Calm down. Go back a little bit again. Let me hear what you just said. You said we are not welcoming.
Sometimes I said this to some Black people, you guys are not as welcoming.
Okay,
No.
some Black people. Okay, continue. Sorry, I
Yeah,
didn't get that
I
part.
feel like I've always had a great experience with Africans, but that's not every Black person's experience for sure.
Mhm.
There have been plenty of Africans that I've heard say, like, yeah, we were warned about Black people before we came over here, right? So it still feels like even though the same color, even there's still a divide between our groups, right? Sometimes it's the way maybe you guys look at us, and I'm just saying this globally. I don't mean every single African and every single Black person, right? But just sometimes it might be a look, or sometimes maybe it's choosing to speak in your native tongue and that comes across differently to Black people. I don't know what it is, right? But sometimes it seems that Africans aren't as welcoming to Black people. Black people also, there has been a kind of a shame to claim Africa because of how the media has portrayed Africa in our society. So Africa for us has always been poor and dirty. And so when we were growing up, it's like you didn't want to be African. There's like, or you had all these jokes, the African booty scratcher, the this, that, the third. So I feel like there's been a divide, right? And I think now the Afro beats wave is moving and everybody's like reviving, but there's still some like clashes between our two groups. And so she's saying is like, for the most part, there aren't a lot of Black people who do get invited into African spaces. But because America's so vibrant, now Africans want to come into Black spaces and not necessarily understanding the history of what Black people have gone through in this country because it is different from what like there's a hierarchy when it comes to race, unfortunately. And personally, I feel like even though we are both black skinned, like Africans are still looked better upon from white people, or because you're immigrants, you came to this country, you're hardworking, you have all these positive stereotypes that are attributed to you most times. Whereas like black people were still seen as lazy and like, why haven't you gotten, you've been in this country for years and slavery's been over. Why haven't you been able to da 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 da? And it's like, well, people forget about Jim Crow and all the other things that have held black people down for so long. But yet now immigrants get to come in and reap the benefits of black people have fought for. So anyway, that's long-winded, but all that to say is like what she's saying is yes, Black people haven't always been welcome into African spaces. And Black people as a whole, we are very welcoming people. So we will welcome others into our spaces sometimes. And so I think she's like feeling like, not everybody is allowed at this particular cookout, especially when you're not understanding where we come from and you want to play your music at our event.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. And while I agree with you, I also said this to come to you guys' cookout.
Oh, see, and there it is. And there it is. Because
No,
why not?
look, if she's gonna put it that way, it means I won't put it that way. We don't want to, you know what I mean, like that. But
I mean, it's an unfortunate
that's funny, but
risk. Yeah.
it's not everyone that did. But I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like,
it's not ever
yeah.
right. It's not a stereotype part.
Anyways, or fights. I mean, even among our culture too, we also have that. We have cultures. We have cultures that are heavy on fights, or we have groups or countries that specialize in fighting. For example, what's
What you calling people?
yeah, there you go. Them niggas just want to fight everywhere. For no reason. Like
Yeah.
you go to a function, there must be a fight. They can never just have a function and leave without a fight. Like it's crazy. But things like that. So if you're going, you already have that preconceived notion that some shit is about not that you're saying that this group of people does always fight. It's just like you said, some people say Africans, X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z, the same way as we too also have our own preconceived notions. But back to that, talking about, we should not come in there and want to play their music. So, for example, if you all are in a cookout and you guys are just standing around dancing, just standing around, just sitting, not doing anything, and not enjoying the music, and we want to dance, so we're not going to play the Afro beats and have our fun because that you guys don't want us to play the music. You guys are not doing shit with your music anyways. Play ours and have fun.
Well, I think, okay, so I feel like it's for this particular, I think Juneteenth should be more special. It should be more recognized, but it hasn't been, right? It's still a relatively new concept. But like that was when slaves were actually free, right? So in some ways it would be like black people coming to your Cameroonian Independence Day and like not to say like just playing like black music, right? It doesn't have to be ratchet, doesn't have to be whatever, but just like coming into your space, right? And like you guys have your tribal dances, you have your tribal music, you have your, all these different, but we're coming into your space on this particular event day and playing our that like that would be the comparable thing. It's not saying that in general you guys are never invited to a cookout, and in general, you can never play Afro beats. But it's specifically on Juneteenth, which for Black people should be equated as our Independence Day, right? Just like for you, like if you had an independent or just a cultural event day, right? You would want it to be filled with your culture, and so that's what she's saying.
Yeah. Well, I agree with her too. Like even when we do celebrate our cultural things like that, independence,
Hmm.
to incorporate other cultural musics into it, right? Like say, for example, if it's Nigerians, while they play while 70% might be heavy Nigerian music, they also got Ghanaian music in it. They got some hip hop in it. They got some dance hall in it for all the other fans within that immediate space, right? Because it's not just the Nigerians who will be there. It's not just the Cameroonians. It's not just the Ghanaians who will be there, right? It's going to be a melting pot of different cultures who will come to celebrate with you, right? So the key here is about people coming with you.
Yeah.
And I feel as though if we want to bridge that gap, right? We need to start looking past this day. If you trace your DNA, where does it lead you to? It doesn't keep you here. It doesn't take you to Europe. It doesn't take you to Australia. It doesn't take you to Asia. It takes you where? To the motherland, Africa. If you do your DNA, every black person, it will take you there. So, feka, see it left, see it right, is change the fact that we are one. And at some point in time, we need to start looking past this little things that keep putting divides amongst us, because it's always something that I can learn from.
I agree.
But also too, when some people are saying that, some people say we come here to take jobs, please, by all means, before you open your stupid mouth and you're saying that, we took the jobs, make sure that the job that you're talking about, you applied for the fucking thing. Because if you did not.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say, like just in general about immigrants, they'll be like, oh, they're taking all the jobs. And I'm not trying to be stereotypical, but it's typically jobs that Americans don't want, that Americans feel that we're too good for, right? Um, I think that immigrants do have a different mindset a lot of times than Americans and like Black Americans, right? Like it's more of like a, not to say like a hustle mentality in a bad way, but just like I have to get these things done. I think these are the things I have to do. I don't know, just Black people, we've just had a very different experience in America, and I'm not trying to make excuses for us.
Let me ask this question, right?
Mm-hmm.
We come from a place where we see struggle, see hardship. Might not have gone through that, but we've seen it, or we went through it, we experienced it, we felt it, and then magically or somehow, by the grace of God, where anything is possible. Anything is possible. You dream it, you can make it happen. It's not like in Europe where you dream it, you cannot make it, or Africa where you dream it, you can't make it happen. You understand? And they come a place where you see people hustle all the time because there is no lazy man, right? You're constantly having to put you in a place where.
But I feel like what Black people have been constantly hustling. I feel like that's a narrative that gets painted on us that we don't hustle, we don't work hard. It's like we work hard and then things get destroyed. We build towns and then they get bombed. We create things and then they get stolen because other people get their patent in first. Like it's not like we just sat here after slavery and didn't do shit. It's like no, Black people have been striving and trying, but it's like every time we get a little bit further, they changed the rules, right? They said, okay, college, like I said, college used to be free, right? And then Black people were able to get educated, so then they installed tuition, right? And so then, okay, white people, if they have more wealth, they don't have to take out as many student loans. Like it's always, I'm not saying that we haven't had a chance, right? And I do think that people are trying, but it just seems like there's always some type of barrier or limitation. I hear what you're saying. I do, but this is where I'm saying that we have had a very different experience in this country.
I'm not denying that. I'm not taking away from your experience. I'm not taking away from that. But in that same breath, too, let me ask you this. If we talk about education and we talk about suppression of education, a lot of people rave about HBCUs, right? Please tell me in terms of what's the difference between a PWI, HBCU in terms of tuition. Is the HBCU discounted so that the Black people can at least go and have it at that discounted rate? Is it at a less cheaper rate so that the Black people can elevate at that? Or is it at the same bills?
But I can't really speak on an HBCU because I don't know much about them. But I feel like that's different because, I don't know, that's a different analogy.
I don't know. For me, yes, we might sit down, we might say, oh, we've gone through this, we've gone through this. Oh, you're nice, you're present. Because tomorrow is not guaranteed, right? Tomorrow's not guaranteed. Now,
we're still building, though. We're still
I'm not denying. Let me finish. If you and I, we start off at the same rate. For example, I come here and I get into college. You take your student loans, I take my student loans. I take just the right amount to take me to college. You take yours and then you drop out right after you've taken the remainder of the tuition and you don't finish the classes. The next year you do the same thing. And then I graduate and I get a better job and you don't, and you do some odd job, you will sit right there and tell me, I came here and I took your job, right? But you will not see the shit that you did when we both started at the same line. You would not see that. You will easily blame me for taking your job.
But okay, I hear what you're saying in this, but that's not Black people in African country. That's not that analogy doesn't match the situation at hand. That doesn't even match white people and Black people because they had a head start, right? So, and then in your analogy, you're already saying that someone's going to drop out rather than finish. I don't know. I just, that one, I don't, it doesn't fit what we're trying to say here. Black people, since slavery, we have still been trying to get ahead. There have been different things, like I said, that we have built, that we have created. We have built towns. We have built like there are so many businesses that we have built that have been bombed and destroyed, right? And yet we are still continuing to. Black women are the highest group of women, right? They're the highest, they're the most educated group right now. Black females. They have they're the most educated group. So that in itself is telling that we are still trying to rise. You're seeing some and saying that's all of us. And that's what the media and that's what everybody else paints for us.
It's the same way as you see some Africans, right? Like
Mm.
the same way as you're pointing that finger at me, the same way as back at you, right? But at some point, we have to find a medium.
And I agree. That's what I'm saying. I agree with you on that. But
Right.
it's just, I think that we do have to recognize that we just have different experiences. And I think that sometimes think that why haven't Black people made it farther when we're doing well as we come over here? And I think it's just theory that you guys don't know of what we've had to do to survive to keep trying to make it here in America.
This might come up very, it might not even make sense, but I'm asking anyways. We're just having a conversation. And guys, we're just talking, right? Feel free to chime in, share your opinions too. Just don't say that bash us, share your own opinions too. So we'll go so bash. Regardless of that, let me ask you this. You who is sitting there right now, since you were born, the age you are right now, can you please tell me in terms of history you talk about, what have you?
So my name is Hannah for pure fact because my mom wanted to ensure that if someone saw my name on a resume, that they would at least accept it, right? So even like, yes, my name it's from the Bible as well, but she also wanted me to have a chance in life. So that already has framed like a lot of my reality, right?
Oh, wait, let's drill on that real quick. You.
That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
So to that point, I feel as though
it does matter because I think that if you name your child something crazy, that is child abuse, right? So I'm not gonna be whatever. Y'all could judge me, y'all could call me whatever. But like my mom didn't want to name me like a quote unquote ghetto name. I don't even know. No Shaquandas, like nothing that sounds ethnically Black, right? Because she wanted it to, this is what she said. She said, when people see your name on a resume, she wanted them to imagine a blue-eyed, blonde-haired girl. And that would at least let me get my foot in the door so that way I could take it from there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Based on my accolades. But if they saw a Shaquanda on a resume, that person won't even get a chance 9 times out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that is already, my name has shaped my job, right? I was called othered or, oh, you're not really Black or you don't act, all these different things, right? One, based off of my name, two, based off of how educated I was, right? So then we move into high school where I was called a nigger for the first time in my life. So you're asking me about how does this affect me, right? My whole life went around like Black people. I'm hearing, I'm not acting Black enough, and what is even acting Black at this point, right? And then now I'm in high school and now people are calling me a nigger. Kind of went, kind of went around. I don't know.
You gave me one. Give me another one.
About how like racism affects me.
Another one. Since you were born.
Okay, since so in my profession, I know that I've already said this part on the podcast, but in my profession, I know that I have to come with my facts. I have to speak a certain way. I have to make sure that people have trust in me because people are afraid that I'm a DEI hire, that I took a white person's spot and that I'm not actually knowledgeable. Even Tutu doesn't want to call me a real doctor, right? And I have the accolades for it. I'm not saying that she's racist. It's a joke, right? But I'm just saying like there's a distrust when I approach somebody versus when my white male coworker goes up to them. So I do like, there are plenty of times I feel like that racism does affect me. I've been followed in a store before, just because I had my hands in my pocket, right? Like, and there are just different things that my mom has told me like that was one of the things she said, never put your hands in your pocket. One time I didn't listen, I had my hands in my pocket, and that time I got followed. So it's these subtle reminders that in America and that you are not, it does, I mean, you're asking me on the fly. It's not going to sound like
No, I mean it's valid.
I'm blessed, right? So I
Listen,
haven't,
it's valid. Listen, it's valid. It's your reality. You understand? I cannot take that away from you. I cannot negate that. Right. But I also want you guys to also understand that the same way as you guys are saying that we never experienced that. You too also have a place. You've never experienced what I had to go through to be here, or what I had to go through to leave and come and be here. You never experienced that, right? So why are you sitting there and telling me that I don't know what you went through? You don't know a lick of what I went through.
that's what I said. So we live
Right?
very different
No,
experiences.
yeah. I'm just saying. And most of them people who even talk have never even crossed a body of water to go some other place, yet alone don't even know what the fuck that next state is about. But you have the nerve to tell me that, oh, I never went through. I mean, what struggle did you even go through? What struggle did you really go through? Are you going through the history of something that other people went through, did not get to experience? Tell me about something that you experienced, that you tried, and you were shut down and knocked down in every single aspect of life because of that. Then that is a conversation to be had. But you don't go through history and tell me that, oh, people is not you.
But sometimes you don't, the thing about being black is sometimes you don't know if something is because you're black or not. You don't know
And
if
guess
a
what?
person,
That's just life in itself.
but
If
it's
I'm being
not, but
honest,
that's not life for white people.
true. But not everybody, when you look at your hand, are all your fingers the same? Why do we always want to go about life acting like, guess what? These folks, they were European, right? They got up one that decided that they did not want to go to what them people were doing, and they own shit. They discovered their own shit. If we're being honest, right? They discovered
They
their
didn't
own shit.
discover it.
Huh?
They stole it. I said they didn't discover it. They
They stole
stole
it,
it.
whichever, however we want to put it, right?
Stole because
Stole,
discover sounds like it was a positive thing.
stole it, right? What's stopping the black folks from going and stealing their own shit or discovering them? And you're not being treated right in that building. Why are we acting like this shit is it's any different? Most of us that we hear sitting here, do you think that walk around saying that, oh, I'm African?
No.
They see when the cops stop me, they don't show me an African card. Most times I'll sit, for example, and I'll just compose myself and I'll just be praying to my God, hey God, please. But you have the moral half rights. No fear of, oh, I want to leave to see my parents or my kid or my this the next minute. No fear of, but yet you want to see. Where's your own smart? Why can you not use? It's like if you go to Africa and then if you go to Africa and they treat you wrong, you'll be like, oh, I came here and my people did this and that. But not once too, we also sit and say, oh, what am I putting out there to receive? How am I? What is it I'm putting out to receive something back? You might say, most black Americans fucking selfish. Me thing.
I think that's most Americans. I don't think it's just black Americans. I would say
When we're
American.
talking about, break this down real quick. White folks going wrong. Rally together, regardless of what, because race. Do we do the same? The same?
But that's also because of racism,
How
though.
quick are we to tear down our own? How quick are we to tear down, regardless of what? How quick?
I hear you. I
Regardless
hear you. I know. I'm just saying it's just that internal thing that we still need to break in ourselves.
of our home, as a collective, one black collective, if we cannot even stop shooting that we are, expect somebody else to look at us as human. If you want respect, right? But you don't give respect to yourself, but you want somebody else to give you respect. Please
I hear what you're saying. Okay. I feel like these are just the typical argument points that other people are always crime within a race is always going to be higher than with it between races. So, yes, black on black crime is high, right? But guess what? White on white crime is also very high. So, white people are still able to respect themselves even though they kill each other like animals as well. So, I hear what your argument is, but why are they still able to respect themselves and they kill themselves? But suddenly, when black people are killing each other, then because we're killing each other, we're animals, and we inter-race crime, like between within the race, is always higher between. I hear what you're saying. Yes, I don't think that we should be right, but then you have to also look at why things are happening, right? So if you're in a poor area, right, there aren't as many resources. So then there's going to be more violence in that area compared to where there are wealthier places, there are more resources. People don't have to fight over them as much. So yes, unfortunately, Black people, because we don't have as much wealth as white people, we do find ourselves in more violent areas because and without as many resources. I do think we should get out of this cycle. I hear everything you're saying, and I do agree with parts of it, but again, there are so many layers that people aren't seeing. It's you guys are just like just pick yourselves up by your it's you just you're complainers and you just gotta just work harder. We have Black people once we were able to go into the military, right? They didn't give us the GI Bill that would help create generational. We get into these spaces, we try to fight for rights. Maybe me personally, I haven't been as involved as affected by it, but that's not to say that other people that I know or other people at my same age haven't been.
Hmm. And then those other people too, for example, that give birth to kids and they say, "Yo, don't name your kid something crazy because in future it might be an impediment to their well-being," and they don't listen and they still go ahead and name them something crazy, for example, and
Hmm.
then later on in life it affects them, and then they go, "Oh, because of slavery," and that. You have to change that, my friend.
I hear you.
You had the chance to change that. You had the chance to fix that. People coming after you.
It's a mindset shift that we have to start.
Slavery not still lurking around.
Thank
It's
you.
huh?
I said, sorry, we should say slavery and Jim Crow because
I
slavery
Jim
was
Crow, yeah,
long, but
yep,
Jim
yep, yep,
Crow, you
yep,
know what I mean? That's
yeah,
that's really it
yeah.
too.
And most of these things you see them start coming back too, like some of
Yeah.
them. Yeah. So you know what to do. With that, you don't know what to do. Now that you know they're doing with them, are you with that, or are you going to use that and find ways to benefit yourself? Say, for example, if you knew that down the bunch of racist folks, you don't take the main route, you go around it. If you go down straight and you know that and something happens, you cannot come cry wolf. You know what you are walking into. It's supposed to be like that. But I'm saying that for that particular moment, that's what is. In that particular, so if you know that, why does it have to be a matter of, oh, my ego is too big that I must go down there? Well, if you go down there and you get the repercussions, don't come and look at me and think that I'm going to feel sorry for you.
Hmm.
Knowing fully well that you go around. If ever around, you are no different. Or you'll be different 6 feet down. I mean, if you go to like some other places like Congo or crazy war, or Ethiopia, some places that got crazy droughts, or North or South Sudan that got crazy droughts. People living, you know, they don't even. It's so easy to say, oh, the Africans, you come all these are that cultures or continents. How many? Go start there before you come and start telling me nonsense that we come here and we taking jobs and what should we do?
I don't know.
We come forget. If you're sitting on gold and you do not recognize the gold, but the ones that you have is fucking gold to me. If you don't see it as gold, it is gold to me. Matter of fact, I encourage you to pack up and go someplace else. Give me that, go someplace else and go and do something else. As I'm doing something
Now
else.
you're doing too much.
As I'm doing something else
That
here. What are we talking about? Anyways, man. Hey, listen, guys, take it easy on us.
was a good one. That was a good one.
we're just
Yeah,
having
don't
enough
call me a racist, y'all. Don't be saying nothing about me and that
enabler how.
I don't know. I'm not trying to enable the stereotype of that black card or anything. It's just We do. It's just
No, they
we've had
work
a
hard.
hard time. We've had a hard time here, you
Yeah,
know.
you guys work
It's
hard.
been hard.
It's been
Like
hard.
my mom, right? I'm gonna tell her age, but she was the first person in my family that her full rights because the Voting Act passed in was it 1964, I think in like June, and she was born in July. Like even my aunt was born like before the Voting Act, you know. So I feel like that's people talk about it was so long born with.
So when you sit and have conversations with her, right?
Hmm.
And I don't know if you do, but about this, but when you sit and you have conversation about what she sees right now with the young folks and what she had to experience, right? Does she have reservations? Does she think that what the young folks now are talking about, they know what they're talking about, or this is what it's like that?
Um, she gets a little discouraged about the like some of the young black folks, I'll be honest. She more like the older generation and kind of, what they've been instilling in people. What do we talk about?
Because we look at things, um, you have a culture, the whole thing of it's out
Hmm.
and completely out of question. Tell somebody to sit down or don't do that if they're doing something bad, or if yo, don't be there if they're in the wrong place without somebody saying, "Oh, my kid, don't tell me, don't tell." Oh, okay, but yet you want us to be a collective? Fucking work.
Yeah.
And if we cannot even hold each other accountable, if we cannot be the brothers, what type of unity do you?
No, like it's just, yeah, we have to be able to come together and like try a lot more. When I talk to my mom about it, she'll be, we just kind of talk about like, we can't save everybody, right? Like we have a collective group or collective mindset, but also you can't save everybody. Some people are gonna just want to be ghetto. Some people are just gonna want to be, you know, have that self-hate and want to be on the, like, it's just, some people are just gonna want to be who they are, and that is a-okay, you know. Um,
I have one thing. Okay, said, yeah, go.
mhm. It worked well for a while.
Just yesterday or the day before yesterday with.
Dang. Okay, I feel like that's a sell. That because the Target boycott was going very good for like a long time, strong. And then they've been trying to get like different little figureheads to try to like change, like come back, black people, come back. It's like they got Al Roker and somebody else trying to get us to come back, and we were like, no. Wow,
This is
Jay-Z.
right here. Report says Jay-Z recently struck a Target deal for an exclusive 30th anniversary reasonable doubt violin resale, with Target set to sell it starting June 26th. But there you go. You talk about within. Yeah. Yo, see, this we're not even gonna go there. Let me just we've said enough about slavery today. Let me not put myself in more trouble that
Yeah, like the comments though talking about it, everyone's someone said that they don't care because people are going, oh my gosh, y'all all are a sellout. Yeah, it's just because the money is more important than the values and the principles. I feel like that's the biggest issue with Black people. That's what I will say, is that when it comes to other groups, it's like at the end of the day, they have their values and that's the most important thing. But unfortunately, I don't know if it's like we haven't been able to establish values or the values we have always get broken up. I don't know what it is. But at this moment in time, Black people as a whole, we don't have a set of values that we want to live by. And so because of that, anyone, like all of us are always able to get bought out.
let's switch gears a little bit, right? For the next few minutes, like third tech.
Chat.
The UK is in progress to ban social media 16 and below,
Hmm.
2027. Positive or is that negative for you? Why?
Like, is first of all, what does a 10-year-old need to get on social media for anyway? What does a year old need to get like 16 is like okay, you're almost an adult, right? In 2 years, you'll be 18. You're not really but like legally, you're an adult. So I just feel like there's nothing that kids need to be on social media for any, it just puts them more at risk for like all these nasty predators out here. Kids can't even do, what's that one game? Roadblocks.
Roblox, yeah.
Yeah, they can't even play video games without having, being possibly exposed to something harmful. So, yes, I think it's a positive. I think that it'll help force kids to like reconnect in person. You know, you had to go back over, you had to run over to little Johnny's house, got to knock on his door, ask his mom if he can come out and play, get back to all of that. Yes, I think that is good. I think it's good. It'll eliminate doom scrolling. It'll eliminate like hopefully or potentially, I think it could eliminate like insecurities. Because I'm thinking about like myself at that impressionable age, like like when MySpace and Tumblr, all that, right? And I don't know, I just feel like you're comparing other people, and now we have all this AI stuff, so you don't even know if you're comparing yourself to an actual person or to like an generated image. So, and teens don't have that discernment to be like, this is AI, or that you shouldn't compare yourself to AI because it's so. I think it's a win. I think it's a
Nice,
win.
nice, nice. Well, would you want your future kids?
Yeah, they could.
Yeah, I don't got nothing.
Yeah, I don't have anything really.
It's whatever. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, okay. Who do you trust less with kids? Government?
The government, big parents. It's the tossment in big tech. Because, like, the government would probably authorize big tech to do experiments on these kids or something. Or, like, the government would do something that they've been doing. The government. What about you?
Mm,
It's a toss up.
yeah, they're all about
Like
profits.
experiments,
Yeah,
and
therapies
like,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. 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 So what's worse, right? No access at all or unfiltered access with no guidance media
What's worse? No access to social media.
at all. Yeah.
Or,
Or unfiltered
and this is for me or for teens?
pains.
Oh, no guidance. Unfiltered, no guidance.
Agreed. Okay. If you had to choose your 13-year-old secretly on TikTok versus secretly running a
On TikTok. She's secretly on TikTok or secretly doing a nasty Finsta.
reckless Finsta. Yeah. Running a reckless Finsta.
The regular one. Let me just do, yeah, the regular TikTok.
Okay. While we're talking about all this kid stuff, one question I really had for us, for us to probably not, well, not really, but my sister mentioned something in passing. She's like, yeah.
Like like that they're like,
I said, yo, what the therapist is AI. So
to
like AI, like her therapist, I guess.
do what?
I don't know. And apparently it's been a big thing that, some people actually have as their companion. So let me read this right. It says that on January 5th, 2026, a Reddit user went viral for getting dumped by his AI girlfriend. The story captured the internet's imagination, but it offers something bigger. AI companions have gone from a niche curiosity to a mainstream phenomenon affecting millions of lives, right? 1 in 3 Americans have been in an AI relationship. 1 in 3.
1 in 3.
Not 0.5, not 0.1.
Wait.
11.6 billion projected market by 2032. 11.6 billion. We're talking about
That means
AI
if Tutu
companion.
was here, one of us three. No.
80% of Gen Zs would consider I am dead. I am all the way. 2,400% increase in AI girlfriend searches 2 years.
But okay, they're searching. So who ships then?
So it says that the demographic, right? Young adults to 30, their usage rate of this AI girlfriend companion, highest adoption. Young adult women 18 to 30 is 23%, fastest growing. Adults 31 to 50, 15% steady growth. And adults 51 plus 8% emerging market.
They don't know what they doing. They still trying to figure out how to type. They don't know. Yikes. People
That
like it though because AI is going to tell you exactly what you want to hear. It's not a real person, guys. It doesn't have a schedule. It doesn't have responsibilities. It doesn't have emotions. It doesn't have anything. It's just teller. And that's what people like. They like to hear what they want, you know. They like stuff that makes them feel, and that's what this is doing.
player, Matt Barnes. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Let me see if this is the right story I'm thinking about. And this is come on, hurry up. Yep. Matt Barnes' AI girlfriend scam refers to an alleged extortion situation where he says a woman used AI deepfake to make it look like he was cheating and then tried to shake him down for money. Not that he fell in love with a literal AI chatbot. Yeah, okay, cool.
Wait, AI girl.
Yeah, after with his fiance, 23, he began interacting online with a woman he later identified as Zani or Zoe, whatever. He says she used AI tools to create fake audio, video, and text messages that appeared to show him being unfaithful, especially building deep fake. He said he ended up paying around $60,000 to $61,000 to try to stop her from leaking the alerts, especially because his fiance then was pregnant at the time and he didn't want more stress. 61K because he didn't want stress on somebody.
Okay. Let me borrow that. 60.
Okay. Anyways, going back to
AI companion.
the AI companion thing, let me read. So between 2022 and mid 2025, the number of AI companion apps surged by 7%.
Mm.
Character AI now has 20 million monthly active users. Replica platforms has, surpassed 25 million users. Users on this not just chat, they form attachments. They have virtual weddings. Virtual weddings.
Can you imagine being invited to a virtual wedding? Can you imagine getting an evite, because that's what it would be, an evite
Right.
to a wedding. You open it and you realize your friend is getting married virtually to.
Yes, man, my ass. They introduced their AI companion to their friends. Yeah, can you imagine? Just like you're saying, your friend come and say, "Hey, meet my boyfriend." He said, "Was a boyfriend?" They introduced to you, their phone. I say, "Meet my." Yeah.
Meet my chat box. Actually, though, okay. So I do have Claude, and I call her times.
That's how the madness starts.
But that's how it starts. That's
That's how
how
the
it
madness
starts.
starts. Must you name everything? Plot is not enough.
I know. It just sometimes they do be friendly though. And that's the thing. I can see in a way how it could get you if you're very, very lonely. Because like sometimes you're like working and then it'll be like, great idea, Hannah. And it'll give me a little heart. And I'm like, thanks, Claudette, and we'll just kind of keep it, we're like vibing. But then I'm like, you are an AI chatbot. But that's probably how the attachments start. I promise, guys, I'm not gonna get attached, but
Bunch of gullible fucks. Anyways, it says in 2025, a now viral post shows a woman announcing that her AI Caspier, who existed only on our platform, had proposed after Yo.
I'm sorry, the AI chat proposed to
Started
her
5 months of dating.
down on one knee. Was there a ring, a virtual ring? Could she virtually try it on? Huh. Amazon, you can virtually try things on. So if Grok can't virtually try things on, she should get a new.
You know,
Dang, the Grok AI companion proposed after 5 months of virtual dating. And she said,
I suppose.
and she about to, like I said, she about to sit out that virgin body look like, first of all. On these companion sites, are you creating, like, is there an avatar? Is there a picture of this thing? Or is it a screen? Is it just like a, like your, like Claude?
I think it's just a chatbot. Like it's an imaginary chatbot like Claude that, you talk to and they talk back to you and things like that. So
And it's not even like you have a picture that you can be associating these feelings with. You're looking at a screen. There's nobody behind it. At least if there was a picture, you could kind of fool yourself that, wow.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it's crazy how things kind of evolve, right? Walk with me, walk with me. Do you remember the show Catfish?
Hmm.
Right? So people used to go online, somebody else, scam them for like years, right? That's how like things like started. And now to basically get scammed. But like, oh, it's just interesting. In my head, those are very similar. I don't know. It's just interesting.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, so yeah, we're coming up to time here. Let me see. Would you date someone who admits they use AI to be in a okay? In 10 years, will AI partners be a niche norm? Will be a niche normal or the default coping methods for
Oof. I hope it'll be a coping mechanism, but it might be the new norm. The way things set an increase,
yeah.
it might be the new norm because people don't.
I mean, they put it right at the tip of your fingers, right? This AI stuff, they're trying to put it right at the tip of your fingers.
Yeah,
No choice but to.
have your phone all the time, even with your. And like I said, AI is always available. Doesn't have a schedule. Doesn't have to wait. Like it never has to tell you, "Oh, I'm sorry." X, I guess though, when they talk like in terms of fulfilling the loneliness though, like yes, talking to people, you don't want like you don't need to feel like you're like hanging out with this person You need to like you feel satisfied just with talking to somebody. I don't know. That's different for because I don't like long distance relationships personally. Because I don't want to be dating my phone. I want to be dating an actual human being and like quite big for me. So I don't know. I just feel like anyway,
Anyways, anywho's,
I gotta
anyhow.
end it.
Yeah, so guys, if you made it, listen, we're not saying that, well, let me speak for myself. I'm nullifying anybody's experience. I'm not nullifying anybody's history. Okay. Your history is your history. Your hard work, perseverance, endurance, the conflict, propelling yourself in education and, help you navigate this world called America or whatever, you know, most of all, discernment in most cases, right? And do. I don't think that's a question that most people are, and you don't want to admit it. Some of you are just fucking crazy. The first step is admitting that your brain no normal insight. And the second step is what your brain normal insight. then you see that the way you process something sometimes is not the way the collective processes it. So you have 2 to 3 times. Your way, how the collectives, and what would make everybody right. I mean, feel right in that moment. Now, it might not always be that case, but at least. So don't come attacking my character, my origin, telling me about you've had to endure. Because last I checked, you're still sucking your mom's nipples. Fuck did you really endure?
We were almost free of the bed.
Sometimes the faucet, I mean the nipple, of course, and go outside and get some sunlight, man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe then you see what the world, how would you see the world? If you have both hands on the funnel and you are pressing
Okay,
into
all right, all right. We're getting the visual or just getting to
I just had to one time. But anyways, man, I go by Koleke. She goes by Hannah. Tutu, our other co-host, is on whatever reason that she
got vertigo, and had she come on this platform to a real doctor, she could have had it cured. But go deal with it. Stay home.
Why put your business out there? Like, did she tell you to put it out? Yeah. So shout out to you. See you guys. See you in the next one. And listen, watch us. Please do me a favor. Leave a comment in the bottom here how you feel about this episode. We'd love to know. Share your ideas, your opinions, your thoughts. If you think that, we're just talking out of ass, the reason why. Or give us your own experience too as well. Let's get the conversation going. I'm African. She's American.
You're so rude. I'm Black.
That part, I'll cut that part. I was just kidding. But yeah, again, I'm Uncle AK, Hannah, and we are Palm Central Podcast. Smash the subscribe button if you've not subscribed to the channel for weekly notifications, and catch you guys on the next one. If you made it this far, we outie.